Good morning, everyone. Just a quick video here to show you the progress of the painting. So as I showed you in the last video, I've given it an under priming coat, and when I'm doing that, I'm using Venetian red and a little bit of liquid and a little bit of solvent. Now I'm using liquid now because I started having problems with my fingers because of the turpentine. They started to crack apart, and I mean, it was a year that I had these really bad problems with my fingers. So I've eliminated a lot of the turpentine and the Damar varnish that I used to use, and I miss it a bit, but health-wise, it's just far superior. So I came and I gave it this wash, and I created this rather irregular sort of under pattern there, and the idea is probably some of that's going to show through, but I'm not totally sure about that. You know, I have to wait and see how the painting progresses. So I had done a drawing on a piece of paper, then I set it up again, and in this situation, I'm using a projector. If you're taking photographs and drawing photographs, I don't see any point in spending the time of manually drawing them out once you're a professional artist. If you're a learning student, then by all means, drawing that out, you will learn more about it. But once you reach a certain level of understanding how forms and light work, then it's really a question of the time that you have to spend. And particularly when I'm putting together three different people from three different very sort of sources, using that projector allows me to much more quickly find the image that I want. Now, that's not saying it's a really short process. I spent probably 4 or 5 hours yesterday just projecting, moving bigger and smaller, trying different positions for this figure that I had decided in the sketch on the paper before that would work out. And as I got going, it's the figure up here that's really kind of difficult to see because I haven't come in with any of the paint yet. So the point that this is at is I have my figure sketched out, and now I've come in with my first pass where I'm finding the major lights and darks of these figures. And what I'm doing is I'm not mixing the lights and the darks, okay? I'm not mixing the whites, and in this case I think I'm using a raw umber. Those are separate. So what I'm doing is I'm building up my lights, and I start in the brightest lights that I see, and then I thin out as I'm moving into those areas that are first from the brightest light, then to the mid-tone lights, and then to those lights that are just slightly lighter than mid-tone. And then I do the same thing with the darks. I start in the darkest darks, and then I thin out the paint. And how you do that, in this case, what I'm doing, it's mostly related to how much paint I have on the brush, which is a little bit different than how much medium, or in this case, Liquid Original from Winsor & Newton, I have in the paint. But these are things that you discover as you go and you paint. If you start putting it down and it doesn't go dark enough, well, then you have to take a little bit of that liquid out because it becomes too transparent and doesn't go as dark as you want it to do. So I just wanted to quickly show you the sort of next stage where I am finding these lights and darks of my different figures. And I still have a lot of decisions about how I'm going to end up resolving this space with these three figures in them. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope maybe it gave you a little bit of insights that you might be able to use for your own work. And Have a good day.